مرحبا بكم حلقة جديدة Moroccan Reds Podcast. رجعنا بعد أسبوع كان سخون شوية. أسبوع سخون، جوج ديال الماتشات كانوا كبار ضد الريال مدريد تشامبيونز ليغ ومانشستر سيتي في بريمير ليغ. جوج نتائج متناقضة بزاف، بين واحد النتيجة اللي فرحتنا بزاف ضد مدريد وواحد الهزيمة قاسية في النتيجة ويمكن تحسرنا بزاف عليها ديال السيتي 3-0. وهادشي اللي غادي نناقشوا اليوم، وحلقة خاصة اليوم لأنه شحال هادي ما استضفنا شي ضيف، والضيف ديال اليوم ما كيجيناش من المغرب، الضيف ديال اليوم من كندا، ولذلك حالا غادي نسويتشي باللغة الإنجليزية حيت غتكونوا فهمتوا بأن الضيف ديالنا ما كيدويش الدارجة المغربية. So, as I was saying in Moroccan Darija dialect, we have a special guest today. And the specificity also of this episode is that it will be in English. Even if it's not my native language, it's actually my third language, speaking for myself. So I will try to make it work for myself. I think Boubker will be fine, and Soufiyan as well. So the guest we're welcoming today is a member of the official Liverpool Supporters Club in Toronto, so from Canada. We're welcoming today Aizaz. Hello, Aizaz. Nice to meet you and welcome aboard.
Hey to all three of you and all of the OLSC Morocco supporters too. Great to be here. Actually honored that you would ask me to be a guest today. And yeah, excited to talk all things Liverpool, even though it was a pretty rough day today. And yeah, excited to get into it.
Exactly. So as you see in Aizaz's background, there are a lot of jerseys. So from what I understood, you have quite a big collection of jerseys.
Yeah, it's my like lifelong passion, I suppose, from the moment I was able to identify to my parents that hey, I want what that guy's wearing. It was probably John Barnes on TV, and I was
Yeah,
like, I want what that guy's wearing, and ever since then, it was always something that was quite close to my heart. And yeah, I just carried on collecting, and then they soon add up, and then I've spent the last 10 years working in the travel industry, which has been super cool because, yeah, like I now live in Canada. I'm originally from the UK, but you can go to different parts of the world where football shirts are actually a lot more reasonably priced as well, and just been able to add to my collection while being at work as well. So yeah, it's a labor of love, as they say.
that's great. And of course, I have to ask this. So, do you have the Moroccan in your collection, the Moroccan jersey?
I do, yeah. I have a
Oh, nice.
98 Morocco jersey.
Oh, 98,
Oh,
the
And
World Cup. Yeah.
98. Yeah. I have a 98 Morocco jersey, and I have I think a 2014 or 2016 one as well. So yeah, I have two
wow,
Morocco jerseys.
So basically, you
that's
have
cool.
two Morocco jerseys. I only have one. So yeah,
Oh
shame
wow.
on me.
So I'm
Yeah, shame on me. Yeah, I need to buy more, but
so yeah.
that's fun. But and apart from Liverpool, because I've known you, I met you several times. I know how passionate you are about Liverpool and how
Yeah.
much you love the team. But
Yeah.
from following you on social media, I see that you have like little something for Napoli and
Yeah.
Maradona because you're all the time posting Maradona stuff, and Napoli's jersey. What's going on with Italy and especially with Napoli?
I think it's not to be honest, it's not even just Napoli. It's just since we've been connected over the last couple of years. I took a trip with my family to Naples and well to the Amalfi Coast a couple of years ago, and that's where Napoli came from. The truth is, growing up in the UK, in the era that I did, you had the Premier League, obviously. We all know who was dominating at the time, so it was easier to like also start to watch other leagues. And at that time, Serie A was the best league in the world. So I actually do have a lot of Milan and Roma too, a bit of Inter, tiny bit of Juve, but more like just the grails, as they say, the shirts that are considered like either highly sought after or highly valued. Like I will try to collect those as well. So it's not just Naples or Napoli, but I do have a thing for Maradona. I also have a thing for Messi too. Like I do have like a so I'm Liverpool. I'm only a Liverpool fan. Like sometimes people will be like, so I live in Toronto. People will be like, oh, do you like TFC? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm a Liverpool fan. And they're like, oh, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh no, I'm just a Liverpool fan. And same thing with countries. Born and raised in the UK. Sometimes it's hard to support England because of being a visible minority. It's not always the same as like, for example, you guys are so if you're born and raised in Morocco, it's just different sometimes. It also depends on the era you were born. But then I moved to Canada. I've been to Canada for many, many years as well. But I always say the same thing. Like, I'm not an England fan. I'm not a Canada fan. I want Canada to do well because it's my home. But I'm a Liverpool fan. Like, that's it. Like, that's my only team. But then I do have I have a how would you describe it? Like I have an admiration for that Argentinian style of like the way Maradona was his own way, and even the way Messi does his thing, the way they won the World Cup recently, where they all came together and they were living on like student accommodation, having like their asado, which is like their barbecue every couple of days. And like, I do like that style. And it kind of overlaps a little bit with the Scouse mentality as well, where it's always like insular and it's like us versus everyone else kind of thing. So Maradona was like iconic, and like his relationship with Napoli just makes me have a little bit of love for Napoli. So when I see Maradona anywhere where I'm traveling, like I will always take a picture either of the photo or with it. So that's kind of where that one comes from. And the last thing I'll say about that too is he's so interesting. Like he's such an interesting character. Like I don't know if you've seen the documentary, the HBO documentary.
Yeah.
Like I could watch that like right now again, just to try and cheer me up from today's result, because he's so multi-dimensional. Like he's, like I grew up a wrestling fan, and he's like a 50% good guy and 50% heel at the same time, like he's like, he'll cheat, he'll kick, he'll spit. Like I get emotional watching when he's doing the anthem. It's Italy versus Argentina in Naples, and the Napoli fans are booing the Argentinian anthem, and like he's swearing and he's saying like, I'm not going to say the words, but he's saying like a certain word on the, and I'm just like, it like, like all of the like the red-blooded male inside me is like, go, like go, like yeah, like that's how I would behave, kind of thing. Like that's why I get like why Argentinians love him so much, because he has a little bit of, we're all a mix, right? We're all a mix of like good guys and bad guys and da da da. And we're all humans. He's a human being. That's what I love about him. He's such a human being, and we're all flawed in our own way,
So
maybe the
sorry, what would you say about his goal against England, the hand of God?
A little bit of hand. I'll say the same thing he said: a hand of God and the head of Maradona. Look, football is so different in different regions, and I would love to one day hopefully come and watch a game with you guys, both a Liverpool game at OLSC Morocco, but then also watch a game with you guys when Morocco are playing, right? And like culturally things are different in different places. So I have some Latin American friends, and they don't see it as cheating the same way, like they see it as like it's like clever, it's tricky, And by the way, England do it too. Like, let's not pretend like David Beckham and Harry Kane and stuff. Like Michael Owen did it against Argentina, and he was our player at the time. Like he's our player, but like what he does in World Cup 2002 to Pochettino, if an Argentinian did that to England fans would be like, oh, he's a cheat, like, why are you cheating? So, yeah, it's not nice what Maradona did, but at the same time, like, they won the World Cup.
It's football.
Yeah, it's football.
Basically, that's I don't want to dive into this conversation
Yeah.
because we are
Yeah.
going really side to
Yeah.
our topic, and people will see us today like smiling and laughing. They will think that we don't care about the game or whatever. It's not the
No,
case. It's
we
just
do.
because we are having like a special guest, and we're trying like to figure out why actually he has this passion. I don't know. As I said, for Maradona, but we got like a proper answer. I think that me or Youssef or Soufiyan wanna like ask about, because as I told you off, you are actually the first guest from another OLSC in the world, and we are really happy and glad that you are joining us today. And I attended few games, like a handful of games with you guys when I was back in Toronto, and it was really amazing. I took pictures, videos, sent them to the guys because for our case, we've got the recognition of the official Liverpool supporter in 2019, I think,
Yes,
after
yes.
the Leicester game 2-1, when Milner scored
Oh,
the late penalty. And when I moved to Canada and then I was attending the games, I was like really mesmerized how organized you are, guys, and actually how many members. I think it's more than 1,000 now that you are having. I think that I don't know, like you can just tell us when the OLSC was created. Was it called OLSC, and when did you got like the official status as a member of Liverpool team or
Yeah.
family?
So we were founded in 2001, and at that time, because obviously I was actually still in the UK at the time. My assumption is it was probably a little bit easier at the time to get an official status. That's just an assumption. I'm not 100% sure. Our board, as it is at the moment, we took over in summer 2021. So before that, when I first moved to Toronto, I mean, no, I don't mean to disrespect any of the previous boards, but like, I don't think it was what it was today. I think that's come down to the new board and the new vision that President Jake and VP Sam, we've got our secretaries Evie, and then we've got Dan, who's our treasurer, and then director of member experiences, a guy called Reagan, and then I'm the director of marketing and communications. That new board started in 2021, and that's really an imprint of the club you came and saw. And by the way, I loved when you came. Your energy was super infectious as well, and you stood right near where I did. That's how we got connected anyway. So pre that, we were actually in a much smaller bar, and I think it used to be quite hindering to us, even though now a lot of the OGs, as we call them, will look back to those days, particularly, if you've got some like 2013, 2014, or when Jurgen first arrives, even the Kiev run. I mean, even 2019 in Madrid, we were still at this other bar, but it was a lot smaller. So we weren't able to basically create this community and this vibe, which is a lot bigger now. And then we moved once in COVID to another bar, and then this one became available, and it's right in the city center. It's like 7-8 minute walk from the train station, right near the highway. So we made it very deliberately right in the middle. And then it really started to come alive because we started to do a lot more promotion, including some paid promotion as well. So yeah, I'd still say most of what we do is organic and word of mouth. But when there is something really special, we do put a little bit of budget behind it too, to like turn on the paid ads on Facebook and Instagram and whatnot. The other thing that we did, which was really cool, was we made it family friendly. So originally, when I'm saying the back in the day, that could be any time between like when I arrived in Toronto in the early 2010s to 2019, 2020. It was still fairly male dominated, and it was a different vibe altogether. Now I'm not, all of those folks are still there, and we've got more of them, but then so many kids come, guys. It's so cool. Like, we have so many, like, we're throwing 2 kids Christmas parties this year because there's enough catchment in, you know, like different parts of the city that we can have a Liverpool themed Christmas party for kids, and not just one, two of them. So I think that was the other thing that was really cool that we did, was we took a look at our membership and we were like, well, dad's coming, so like, well, then, you know, like, mom should come too. And if mom and dad are coming, then why wouldn't the kid want to get into Liverpool? And that's really what sets us apart from, I think, other fan clubs in Toronto. It's still a very, like, it's still quite like a singular experience, whereas from our side, it's like you've got families sitting in one section, you've got the hardcore supporters at the back, they're the ones singing the songs, and that, I think, really adds to the vibe that we're trying to create.
Which generation is more dominant in your supporters club? Is it more Klopp era generation, or maybe older Dalglish or Benitez? Which one
No,
is
I
more?
would say now Klopp is
Klopp?
the dominant generation. Yeah, I think most of our, like, if I was to say most of our fans are like um 25 to 38-ish. I'm just being like really
Yeah.
broad. Still skews more male, like, as in, even though we've made it more inclusive, it's still, I mean, football fans are just, it just skews that way. So it does skew a bit more male. But it's really cool to see those generations interacting with each other. That's really nice. But yeah, no, at this point, Klopp really did put us back on the map, though, man. Like, I can honestly say, like, spending time growing up, like, I spent time growing up in Manchester. Like, I spent years in Manchester, so I was seeing what Fergie was doing, and, you know, like, what the global ripple effects it was having on that club, and how they kind of took over English football. What Klopp did in that era, particularly towards like the middle to the end of his era, like, he really, really played catch up. Like, he caught like 30 years up in 7 years, you know, like, it's really special. So yeah, no, most of our fan base is spread, but if I had to pick like what's the most popular one, then I would say it's the Klopp generation. Yeah.
My question is,
I think that,
excuse me,
yeah,
do you have
go
someone who
go
is
ahead. Yeah.
do you have someone in the OLSC who is the icon, who is the maybe the most old supporter in the community?
We do. Yeah, we have some, like, for example, we have some people from both Liverpool and also like Northern Ireland, for example, who are like, yeah, like more senior in their life. I'm not sure if any of them would appreciate me outing their age. But yeah, we have people from the Shankly days and the Paisley days as well. So probably less now than we used to, but no, we still have people, and yeah, we have some real Scousers in there as well, which is really cool. I think what's super cool about Toronto, Montreal is the same, is Canada is a very big immigrant country, and it continues to be.
Yeah.
And that really brings about a lot of people. And yeah, Scousers love to travel, you know, like, Liverpool being a port city, it has that whole thing about it where Scousers have always been traveling. Irish people have always been traveling. There's a big Irish fan base that's Liverpool fans as well. So yeah, I think the oldest ones are from that generation.
Yeah, I think in, I don't know, few decades, you will be eyes as one of the most senior, I think, because now, I don't know,
Yeah.
times are flying, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can only back what he said because I experienced actually the vibe, and it's family friendly, I would say, when you
Yeah.
see really, really kids running around, women, men, and seniors are the loudest sometimes because they got mad, you know, about
Yeah.
what happening on the pitch, and like sometimes you hear swearing left and right, and some songs, you know. I try to bring my Moroccan voice, guys, because we are with the Moroccan ultras, and everything. We have a different kind of supporting, non-stop chanting. Yeah, I don't know. It's really, really interesting. I wouldn't stop like this conversation because I really like when we connect with other OLSCs and hear their stories, and all that kind of stuff. And we get even experience, right? When you are talking to us, you are giving us idea and how to proper organize because relatively we are still, I would say, new, like a few years now. I don't know, 7 years that we are official. So basically, we are still structuring our organization and see how things will can be developed in the good path. On a serious note, I think that now the faces will change, and with the gloomy weather, we'll be talking about the game. And as Youssef said, and I don't think that you understood what he said
What he
before.
said.
But he was talking about our mixed feelings because midweek we've been playing Real Madrid and we saw the how the players showed their character in that game, and then 3 days later, we see a really really awful performance. I would say by the whole team, except of one or two players, but really awful. We were outplayed our players. With personally, I don't want to say the word because I think it's a huge word, but like sometimes I become doubtful, because of how things are turning our midfield. It's really, I don't know if it's the tactics or the players are being don't believe anymore in the system. Like I don't want to be too harsh or slut, but sometimes it's just the way I say things. Just Youssef, I want to ask you about the game and how, like, in a general perspective, how did you see the game? Did you expect that performance? Because we know that we played well against Real Madrid, but like I would say that Man City is another caliber with better players, with better system. And this year, like Guardiola knew the same way as Klopp used to do to to change again their mentality into winners. And we can see that this season. How did you read the game? Did you expect that result actually? Because 3-0, it's like Guardiola against Klopp. I think one time that was 5-0 when Sadio Mane went out. But other than that, it was always close results, and we were like better performing. But this time, 3-0 performance equal, I would say, to 1 or 0, and it was not our day. How do you read into this?
Mostly before the game, I had some doubts. I had some doubts because I was convinced that new Aston Villa and Real Madrid games were not enough to, to be sure that the team has recovered from the past results, and even Real Madrid showed a really bad face against Liverpool. They were tactically very missing organization. So I wouldn't say they offered us the victory, but I mean, we've already faced a very stronger Real Madrid before. But I didn't expect that we were going to be outplayed that way against City. I mean, before the game, I would have bets on a draw, a proper draw, knowing that we're playing away in Etihad. But I was really shocked from the very first minutes. I mean, the pressing that City players were putting on our back line was really, I felt suffocated. I felt suffocated, and honestly, seeing the first minutes, I was saying, "Oh, beside the hold up, I don't know how we will get a result." And I think the scenario of the game just confirmed that we were outplayed from the very first minute till the end. We had, honestly, and I'm sad to say that, but we had today in the game against City no chance to get a result. I mean, all the lines maybe, as you said, maybe we can exclude from this assessment one player or two, but the general performance was really bad in the pressing. We were losing all our challenges. Some players that we knew that their recent level is questionable, Salah, Konate, they just confirmed this even more today, and maybe more Konate. And so yeah, fair results for us. Even if 3-0 is still hard to take, I don't remember that we have lost with that difference of goals against City. Maybe we had a 5-0 one time with Klopp, but it was a
We also had a
special.
4-0. I still remember.
Sorry?
I still remember we also lost 4-0.
After the party, no, it doesn't count.
Ah,
It was like
yeah, it
after the
doesn't
party.
count.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We had one after the party, and then we lost, I think, in COVID 4-1, I think,
4-1, yes.
against them. But yeah, it was the first time that they won in Anfield in how
Since
many years?
2001, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. Those matches doesn't count, but this one does. And yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Aizaz, I just want to ask you about. So basically, if we go back to, I don't know, 12 months before, we had that situation with Salah. He was like high flying, scoring goals, assisting, breaking records week in, week out. And he got the deal that he deserved at the time.
Yeah.
And we were really expecting him to show up again this season with another mind-blowing season and stats. But I think that there is two things that I want to ask you about. Is we know that his I don't want to ask about his performance because like a kid of 2 years old can tell you that he's not performing to his level. But do you think that the fact that he secured his contract did play a role in the way that he's playing now? Second question is regarding actually how he behaved off pitch. We saw how he was really unhappy when he was substitute, when he was about to be entered in the Eintracht game. Remember when he was really unhappy, even though that he will be subbed in. And then what I want to ask about Salah, do you think that he still got the physical and fitness level to compete at the highest level? We can see it was like really counter attack, and he was like running, sprinting with the Diaz, I think, defender, and he was outrun. I would say that if it's. Do you think that all you can? I don't know if you can answer all of this question if you remember that for sure. But like the question is about Salah, and you are asking about his performance, his behavior, and if he has the capacity to perform at the highest level.
Yeah. So my thing with Salah is the way I look at it is very independent of just the salary and the contract. I think it's very difficult for a top level team, and we've got desires to be Premier League champions and Champions League winners. I don't think that some teams of that quality or that like standard can rely so much on one forward to get all the goals, and particularly if they're towards the end of their career, like no matter what we think of Mo, it's still on the decline, if you know what I mean. Like, and that's even last year he had this amazing season, but it only lasted till about January, February, and then it started to slow down again. So I love Mohamed Salah. He's a legend of Liverpool, and I want to advocate for many things he does. I don't like the body language. I think that many of the other players are showing the same body language as well, and yet because he does it, then it becomes more news. But that doesn't mean he's allowed to do it as well. Like, I think they all need to start looking at each other. Even today there was moments when Virgil van Dijk, who can be very inspirational, had a bit of like it wasn't like a come on guys, like let's do this. There was like a or like we're feeling a little bit sorry for ourselves. Mo does it. Alexis McAllister's a World Cup winner. He's doing it. Like it's all over the place. Even our best performer this season, Dominic Szoboszlai, like I saw twice he just let the City runner run right past him, and one of them ended up as a shot as well. So, and he's a hungry captain. So I'm not trying to take the pressure away from Mo Salah. I think that the plan was to have him transition out this year as being the creative and goal scoring source. That's why we spent $240 million pounds on someone who's really creative like Wirtz and a proper striker. We were expecting to change that. And then there's Ekitike as well. So I don't know where we go from here with Mo at the moment. I think what helps him is he still continues to be one of the top goal scorers and assist guy. Like if you add it all up, he's still contributing. And until someone takes that mantle away from him, I'd still start him in many games, but he doesn't need to play every game now. I don't think he needs to play every game. I think physically, I know you asked that question, physically, you can see that the decline has started a little bit, particularly on the run-in. Remember when he first joined and he just used to take off and you couldn't catch him? That's not Mo Salah anymore. And that happens to people. So how are you going to adjust around it? That's not necessarily happening. I say all of that. I still think our main goal threat today would have been Salah isolating O'Reilly and something happening. It's such a double-edged sword with Salah. I have a lot of empathy for him because I want other players to step up, but he's not stepping up either. It's kind of where do we go from here? Can somebody tell me, is Isaac called up to Sweden or is he training with us? What's the situation? Because he was on the bench today.
He's training with us,
Yes.
but no, I don't know.
No,
He was
he's
called
called up
up.
for Sweden. Yeah, he will play with them in the
He's
international
called-
break.
see-
Yeah,
Shit.
he has 2
Damn,
games to play.
see,
Yeah.
that is a major part of what happens next with Salah, because if we can get the Salah, the playmaker from last season who was, putting chances on a plate for Diaz and Nunez, if that guy's, because that doesn't usually go at 33, pace goes at 33, some power can go at 33, but the way he uses his left foot, it shouldn't be declining the way it is. Sometimes you're playing in the park and uncles in their 50s are playing these amazing passes and stuff, because that bit you don't lose. In fact, if anything, like a golfer, you actually get better and better with your foot the more you play. So how we activate that part of Mo Salah is more important, but trying to expect that old school Mo Salah who's going to take on 3 players and turn, I don't think that that's coming back. And I almost feel like we're watching the end of that while having this really troublesome time with other positions in the pitch. Because while you were asking the question, I know Konate's name came up. That's really hard to watch as well right now. Every other game, we are losing a goal, and a lot of the time, that's the person stood on the scene of the crime. And it's that's hard to watch as well.
I think I'm coming to. I want to ask Soufiyan a question about the boss and the tactics and everything. But since you mentioned Konate, or I just want to ask about, or I want to ask Soufiyan. Yeah, I would ask him about Konate, because now, it's really awful, man. It's really awful what we are seeing from him. The howler that he did for the penalty with Bradley. Every week in, week out, we are seeing another. I don't want to be mean, another lover in disguise then in our defense. Do you think that, again, I'll be talking about the contract, because now sometimes when the player, and we saw that with Trent last year. So basically, when your mind is thinking about another team, especially if Real Madrid comes knocking, that's normal, that's human. Even it's really difficult to be that professional and deliver every week with the same passion and professionalism. And I think that Konate, since the talk started about Real Madrid getting him for free and the contract situation getting complicated every week, do you think, Soufiyan, that that part plays a role in his actual actual performance? Because he's still young, he's playing alongside the best defender in the world, and last year he was performing up to the level that we needed. But this season it's totally different. And again, I will add to that we didn't get Gehi, so basically there is no competition for that position, and he knows that. So basically, a player who knows that there is no competition, he can do whatever he want, but he won't be substituted because there is no one to replace him. Do you think that those 2 points play in the performance that we are seeing by Konate? Because really, that's from one from our OLSC likes to say that word. It's a League One performance. It's not the Premier League performance.
Yeah, that's for
What do you
sure.
read into that?
Yeah. You have said everything I would say. So the lack of competition, you can't compete Konate with Gomez or even the Italian youngster who got injured in the game Carabao Cup. So the lack of competition plus your mind being thinking that next year you will be playing with another team will never get 100% of your performance. So we are having the same scenario of last year with Trent, but this year with another player who is Konate. For me, last year I was not accepting the fact that Trent will leave and will go for another team. But based on the performance of this year, of this season, for Konate, I will accept him going free. Starting from tomorrow, I will get another player from the under 23 to play there, and I will accept it rather than playing a player who is thinking about another team and doing and hurting your team. He's playing with the other teams. I think Konate's time for Liverpool is finished, and Liverpool should seek or should search for another centre back in January if they are hoping to challenge for a title this year. Maybe the FA Cup or the Champions League, but the Premier League, I don't think that they will challenge.
Champions League.
Yeah.
You are turning into an Arsenal fan now.
No.
We are delusion, man. You can't be competing for Champions League with with this performance.
No. I will give you the exact example of PSG last year. Their starting of the season was, I think, the same as Liverpool this year. But after that, they went through and they won the Champions League. So for Liverpool, I think they have more hopes to compete on Champions League level than in the Premier League. And the funny fact is that the same starting 11 played against Real Madrid and today against Manchester City, and you can see the difference between playing in the Champions League and the Premier League. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, true. Like Aizaz would think that we are too pessimistic, and we are not usually,
indeed,
because
we are.
normally,
Indeed. No, that's right.
He is actually.
You are.
He is the guy who is always pessimistic about the team.
No, we are speaking
not,
facts.
Like the situation. Yeah, you are speaking fact, but at the same time, we are talking about a team that lost, I don't know, 7 out of 9 or 10 games now, and we can't be happy about that and discuss it in a way that we can't be giving too much glory to a player who doesn't perform for a team with Liverpool's caliber, right? And this, I think, that affects the conversation and the moods. I want to talk about the tactics because I don't know. I've seen the game, and we also that we were outplayed in a way. And as we were discussing on off, Soufiyan, I've been telling the guys about the fact that losing 2-0 and subbing off your only striker and then trying to play with a false line, which in the basic knowledge of football, when you are losing, you put in strikers, And I remember like in 1 or 2 games, Jurgen, when he recruited the defender from QPR, Coker, if you
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
Steven
played
Boubker, yeah.
and he played 2 games. He subbed him like on 85 minutes, and he played as a striker. So basically, that's my basic knowledge of football. So if you need a score, you just throw the ball in the square, and then you have 1, 2, 3 players who tries to make something out of it. And even Bob Paisley say, if you have the ball in your feet, put it in the net, and then we can discuss the options. So this is my knowledge of football. And when I see Slot playing with the false nines, I was like, I told you, like it's a really a huge word, but I was doubtful. I was like, what the heck is that? How you can? At our moment, we were like playing handball, like we were turning the balls, and then there is no one on the box to convert the balls apart from the one from Gakpo. How do you read it, Youssef? It's not the first time that we are seeing Slot being outplayed, and like at a moment it becomes a mess. Now we've seen Gomez in, and he was playing as our 10. I'll say like he was right back, while at the same time he was playing so high on the pitch. Like, is he scoring the first goal of his career today or not? But this season we've seen I know that it's a transitional season with a lot of coming in, and you need chemistry, and you need to play together. Like your full wing are new, and the midfield is new. The attacker is a new one. But come on, at a moment, I don't know. Is it just me that find Slot tactics sometimes a bit odd? I would say, to not say something else, but it's not the coach that we've seen last season with the stability. He got the benefits of Klopp's system last season, and when he tried to play his this season, didn't work out, or it's just a blip, and he's trying to build something different, and it needs time. What do you think, Youssef? And then Aizaz, you can give us your opinion about it.
Yeah, 100% sure he got the benefits of Klopp's system, but not only that, I would say last season maybe he didn't have much options on the bench, so he was kind of, obliged to play with almost the same starting 11. While this season he has more options, but maybe too much new faces to manage, and this is not always easy to manage, to have a lot of new players to integrate and to make them adapt so quick. So but it's not the first time we are questioning choices of Slot. In his management and his changes he's making in the game. I think, for example, Gomez and Chiesa subbed off was only about fitness only. But honestly, I didn't understand the first subbing off. I didn't understand them, honestly. It was really weird. It was against the scenario of the game. You're looking to reduce the gap, and you're just making changes that are going to make you maybe control more the game, but in that time of the game you're not looking to control the game, but to put more chaos in City's area. So yeah, I don't want to look too pessimistic or critical toward the Slot, but I think he didn't find till today his own, I won't say starting 11, but yeah, almost. He didn't find his proper starting 11, because the starting 11 of past year was more Klopp's starting 11, and he did it right. He was kind of he didn't have the choice but to follow Klopp's starting 11 and chemistry that was already in place. And I think he's struggling with the mercato, with the outcome of the mercato that looked on paper wonderful for the media and for fans that are quite outside the world of Liverpool, but fans that are seeking each information and knowing deeply what's happening in the club, they know that this mercato was really tough. It's really tough because you destroyed the chemistry of the club, and you have to adapt a lot of new faces, and that's really hard.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, like the game today, Slot has one tactic. I think that I think we did start the game to play deep and not go toe to toe with Man City and keep it tight. So I don't have too much of an issue with that normally. I don't think you can go to every stadium and be the better team and in like Pep's Barcelona kind of thing. So that solution works until it doesn't. And as soon as you go 1-0 down, your game plan is out of the window. Then we never deserved to win today. I don't want to hide behind anything. We did not deserve a point today, but we did score a legitimate goal. So, like it's 1-0. It looks like it's 1-1, and then you can reset and go back to the game plan, which is, men behind the ball, track the runners, cut off the spaces, cut off the supply to Haaland. I think that's what we were trying to do, because we'll never know, right? Just based on how the appearance of the game was. But where I would definitely draw into the criticism of Arne Slot today is, so 45 minutes, we're 2-0 down, okay? So now I think you're probably going to need to change something, because clearly either we were rubbish in the first half, or we were playing your game plan, which was don't lose the game in the first half, which we did anyway. But the point is, you are trying to sit deep. You are trying to make it hard for Man City. But once that Nico goal goes in, albeit through a deflection, now you got to change something. And the first sub doesn't come on till 70 something. And it's Curtis Jones. And I like Curtis Jones, but like, why is he coming on when it's 3-0? If Isaac and Chiesa and stuff are on the bench, like surely you want to bring some attacking talent on. The second thing is, it's the same game in the second half. So if the tactic was to sit deep and be, hard to play against, low block, which we hate, by the way, but sure, if we're going to go into Man City and do that, at 2-0, it's not that game when you come out for the second half. So you might want to change something then. But then it goes to 3-0, and it still takes 9 minutes until there's another change, because we concede the second goal on 63-64, and I think Curtis comes on 73-74, so 9-10 minutes. You got to put that one on the coach. Like, there's no way. Like, it's like reaction, it's action and reaction, and then they make a move and you make a move. Like, that's part of why we get so many substitutions. I think that was a big opportunity missed today. And then I have to agree with the sentiment that how are you going to score if you're taking your best number 9 this year off, and now you're going to play with a false 9? Like, what's suddenly going to change? Because I do think, I'm not saying us, because we've got like Konate playing the way he is, and we're not tracking runners and all that stuff. But for example, do I think Benitez or even Houllier or Simeone, do I think that they could go to the Etihad and play 60 minutes where they completely nullify Man City, then try and win it 1-0 through a counter-attack, and then when City pump everyone forward, they make it 2-0? Yeah, I think that they can, but we didn't play like that today. Like, we played like a team that was like a little bit Klopp, but then a little bit this new Slot transition. And the only thing I do think is in our favor is now we have a on paper reasonable run ahead of us where we can hopefully try to put like 2, 3, 4, 5 wins together. And it's all so close at the moment. And Arsenal have a couple of tough fixtures as well. So if it's November the 9th, if by December the 15th, the gap isn't wider and it's like slightly smaller, like the gap's like 4 points, for example, I can see like there being still a little bit of hope. But for now, I don't think we need to be looking at the table. Like, I think we need to be getting back on the pitch and just playing our game and trying to figure out what we're trying to be doing. Because there was times when I thought we were like, okay, I'll go to the Etihad and play like deep and, haram ball. Like, fine. But then we didn't do that, and we give them a goal where our centre back mistimes his jump. Like, that's a really easy header. I'm not a professional footballer, but from all of the football I've seen, like, that's a clearance. Like, clear the ball, man. Like, Haaland shouldn't even get a chance to head that. So everything today was disappointing. Like, I don't think that there's one element that I can hold on to from today to be like, oh, but this was good or that was good. Even Sobo, like I said earlier, Soboslai, like our star man this year, he's just like letting people run past him, and I'm like, you don't do that. Do you know what I mean? And last thing, sorry, on Wednesday when we played Real Madrid, I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Carragher. I think it was Mika Richards, on the CBS show.
Yeah.
Mika Richards said to him, you're playing in your main position. And he said himself, no, that's not my main position.
I'm holding midfielder.
I play 10 yards deeper.
Yeah.
You weren't holding midfielder today. Do you get what I mean? Like, you were like letting there, like that's, so it was so disappointing. And I think I'm usually someone who's pretty optimistic, but from this game today, there's nothing today that I'm like holding on to this or that. Like, I think today's a total write-off, and it hurts because now we have to sit here for 2 weeks. It's hard.
Yeah. My
totally.
question will go for for Boubker. We spoke before about Salah, about the right winger, but we didn't speak about the left winger position in Liverpool this year. And all the comments that we have in this season about saying, are we missing Luis Diaz over playing Gakpo, or maybe worse in a new term, I will call it a false number 7. Because he is not a proper number 7.
Totally, man. Totally. So I have a mixed feelings, and I don't know. I have a mixed feeling because at the same time this week I was missing Diaz. At the same time he injured Hakimi. So I'm not a big fan of that. There is the African Cup coming up, and like Hakimi is out because Diaz he injured him. So basically I have this mixed feeling of like, oh man, we miss our target, number 7. But at the same time, like, man, I don't know. I don't want to say the words. You screwed us, right? Like, or our national team. But right, and it's actually the third time that he's playing in that position. The first time it was against Crystal Palace, and we were really like battered, and we would have like lost the first half of that Crystal Palace game 5-0 because of Alisson, that he made a lot of saves. And at a moment he was like playing a left back and then cutting inside, and we didn't have anyone to run on that side, and we're like, what is this, And then he did the same against Real Madrid 3 days ago, and it worked. And you're like, now he's fitting in that position, And today, I think he did a lot of runs. So I think him and Soboslai, they are the only normally, not today, energetic player. And if you read the stat, you see that he runs a lot. Dribbling wise, he's good, but like he's not fitting yet. I don't want to judge him because it's his first season, but I want to judge like Slot's judgment on that position. So basically, you are not playing Gakpo, which is the only winger that can play in that side, and you are playing a 10 player in that side. So it tells a lot, actually. It tells that either he's not happy with Gakpo's performance, and we said that a lot of time whenever there is an overlap, he wouldn't pass. Even I don't know what will happen, and then you have this situation with Verse. Like one time it worked out, but 2 times it didn't. So basically, you need to find the like it's a total. I don't want to be pessimistic also, but there is like a lot of topics inside one that you can talk about, like the pressing, the system, the lines, the lack of a holding midfielder. So basically, it worked out last season with the two holding midfielders playing alongside each other. But this season, it's not working. Our midfield looks worse. Pressing wise, we are not good because Salah doesn't press. And when Salah doesn't press, so basically you need 11 players to press if you want it to work out. And then offensively, so we don't have that winger, that target winger like Doku or Vinicius, or I don't want to say the word, but like even
we do have
Saka,
Gomor.
who can run, like who can push the ball and then run into spaces. We don't have that kind of player. We have Salah who can right and then he crosses with his left hook, which is good. So basically, Salah for me is more now a playmaker than a winger, and now we are lacking that kind of player. So even last season with Nunes, we can tell whatever we want about him, but as a winger, he was pretty good. I'm not talking about scoring. I'm talking about like pushing the ball and running behind and trying to dribble wherever he want to do that. But sometimes it worked. And we had Diaz and we had Diogo also, who can play on that side. So this season we don't have those kind of players. And with a defender who is not playing to Liverpool's level, and with the lack of a holding midfielder, and then the new players coming in, and then the system not working, it's a lot of things to resolve in 2 weeks. I'm hopeful. Hopefully, it will work out. Hopefully, they will train actually because we are conceding a lot of goals from set piece. I'm like, what you are doing like in the whole week training? You don't train for long balls, long throw-ins, and yeah. Now I start screaming, so I need to calm down a bit. But this is my take for the whole situation. It's a bit of a mess. I don't wanna be too red flagging a lot of stuff about the team, but we can say that there is a huge margin of getting things back into order.
So
Uh,
saying
we,
all
we, we,
that, you are going to be like me in this season. I think you will
no,
be
no,
the most
I don't want to
pessimistic
be like
person.
you. Don't. No, no, no. I would never be like you.
You
We've
already
been
started
like
being me.
we've been ahead of Arsenal last season by I don't know more than 10 points, and you were still I don't know nagging about some things happening in the game. I was like, oh man, I don't know. Uh, uh, we we are now 1 hour into this, and I think that it's time to
Yeah,
close the
quick
things. Yeah.
fires.
Before that, I just want to know. Soufiyan, you can give us the next runs of games
Yeah,
ahead
yeah,
of us after the international breaks?
yeah.
Who would be playing?
We are playing Nottingham Forest right after the international break.
Okay.
Okay. After that, we are playing PSV. So Nottingham Forest is we are playing at Anfield. PSV the same.
But
And
Soufiane,
Yeah.
we're not playing Nottingham Forest. We're playing Sandaich.
Oui,
Nottingham
oui,
Forest.
Chandash, oui.
It's not the same. It's
Oh,
not the
okay.
same.
So
Because
actually, we are
Sandaich is something.
Yeah.
something
He,
different.
he
So
always tried to set up what Aizaz said about about playing like deep and then working out something to score
He's
one, and then
yeah. He's a
and he did
haram
that
ball
a lot.
legend.
he's actually
Yeah,
the founder of Harambol. He's the founder of
He is,
Harambol here in Premier League. Yeah.
yeah.
Starting from
And
Burnley,
Tony
then
Tollis, if you remember him. He
Yeah,
was in
of course.
West Brom. He was always play like there is a set of coaches in England that plays harambol like really well. It works out for them. I don't know, and especially against Liverpool.
and I
Yeah,
think this is
Aizaz,
the
we have.
first season that the
Sorry.
Harambol Football Club is competing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
competing. I don't know how, but it is.
it's true.
I just wanna. Uh, I think we can go with the quick fire. So basically, Aizaz will be asking, giving you like few questions. You can answer, and you can even explain why you choose this answer, or if you don't want to do that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
I love it.
yeah. Especially now that I will start with the first one, since you are telling us that you lived in Manchester. So my first question is, what do you choose as a city, Liverpool or Toronto?
As a city, like what kind of city, like to live?
Like if you have to choose between the two cities, now that you've been living in Toronto and then you were close to Liverpool, so you spent a lot of times
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Liverpool. Which
yeah,
one do
yeah.
you choose between the two?
Toronto overall. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Make
yeah,
sure to cut this.
yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
Sophia to cut.
We are editing
Okay.
it here.
Yeah, I was expecting this answer to be honest.
We had the same
And
answer
why
from all
was that?
guests. Yeah.
It's home? Because it's home?
It's home, yeah. I feel very settled here. I feel very comfortable here. Like I love going home to the UK. I love visiting my family. I time all of my trips home around football matches. My family even know this, so it's not even a secret. So I love going to Liverpool city centre multiple times every time I go home. But now when I arrive back in Toronto and I'm driving on the highway and I see the CN Tower and stuff, it feels like home.
Yeah, fair enough. I would have said the same, man. And
Yeah.
I've been here now for what, 3 years or more. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the same if you ask me.
Yeah.
Second one, if you have to choose between Prime Torres or Prime Suarez.
Torres.
Torres? Why? Why, man?
Ah,
Even
yeah.
Suarez, like 2014, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
2014.
feel like my big beef with Suarez, they were both world class for us. So I'm really like having to split hairs between the two of them. But my big criticism of Suarez is in 13-14, when the trophy was on the line, he went missing a little bit, to be totally honest with you. And that's statistically proven, like he was out of the first 6 games. Then in the next 12, in the next 20 something games, he's unplayable, probably, greater than like most players that have been in the Premier League. But, you know, our title race with both City and Chelsea, by the way, everyone forgets that Chelsea were really high up that year too. And when they actually come and beat us, they actually are in the title race. You know what I mean? So like that often gets forgotten. Right at the end, your Sturridge is scoring, Coutinho's getting, Sterling scoring. There's nothing there from Suarez at the end of the game. So that's my big. And somebody could say back to me, yeah, well, what Torres didn't do the same thing. Sure, I never saw Torres with a trophy on the line. Do you know what I mean? Like that was the problem. Like 08-09, right at the end of that season, Torres was scoring. Like he scored against Arsenal in the 4-4. He scored against Man United he scores multiple goals. That's why it's so close between them. But I've always had a little bit of like issue with how that season ends. And Gerrard gets the blame. It's like Gerrard slipped and Gerrard did that.
Oh,
No, like where was our like at that moment when you need your like talisman to take you over the line? We didn't have one. We were going into games and Sterling would score, Coutinho would score, Henderson would score. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like you don't need any more goals against Norwich. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't need any more goals against Cardiff. Like we need you to score now, and it never came. So it's very close, but Torres just edges it.
As a person, I was surprised because as a person, as you are a fan of Maradona, I expect you
Yeah.
find yourself more on Suarez, who has more authenticity
Yeah.
than Torres.
Yeah. No, and I think there's a lot about Suarez that I don't necessarily like as well. So,
Yeah.
but I was trying to say it more on the football side, to be honest with you. Like, I think sometimes it gets because of how he left us and who he went to, Chelsea, and like obviously the last 6 months he's carrying an injury from the World Cup and he was not his usual self. But like 07, 08, 09 Torres is like it's really, really special. Just like 13-14 Suarez is really special as well. You know, so it's very close. But no, I understand what you're saying. Suarez is closer to Maradona. So yeah, you make a very good point. Yeah.
He got you on this one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, my not last one, but I want to ask if you have to choose between battering Man United 7-0 or
Yeah.
the 4-1 in 2009 in Old Trafford, which one do you choose? Because both of them, one is in a title race when you are winning against your arch rival in Old Trafford 4-1, and then
Yeah.
7-0. It's a historic
Yeah.
score that will last for many decades.
Yeah. Firstly, fantastic question. That would be like asking a parent to choose between their two kids, because both of those games were such an amazing day. I think I'm just going to edge it again with 4-1, just because we used to lose all the time to them at that time. And by the time 7-0 comes around, we've already just beaten them 5 at their ground. And we just beat them every time, you know, like arguably we won the title against them in 1920. You know, that's when the song started. Now you're going to believe us. Now you're going to believe us. So in recent years, other than obviously in the last 12 months, in recent years, Man United has been a lot easier of a game. And 7-0 is disappointing because we went and lost or drew the game after that, which then took us out of the top 4 race again. But 4-1, like, we hadn't beaten them at their ground for like 7 or 8 years. And even that was like a 1-0 Danny Murphy free kick, you know, whereas this was like, we went to your ground and we bullied you. Like Mascherano and Alonso were insane. You know, like Torres terrorized Vidic, Gerrard popped up, even Docena came and lobbed your like legendary goalkeeper. You know, like it was a different time. Now they're so like they're a bit of a banter club, and sure, like we're in our little mini banter era right now, so take this with a pinch of salt. But like for the last 2-3 years, including that year, they've been a bit of a banter club, especially under Ten Hag. But like we beat Prime, Fergie with Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez. We beat them 4-1. That's an all-time result.
Speaking of Docena, there's a fun fact that Docena scored the 4th goal in 2 times in 1 week against Real Madrid and against Manchester United.
Yeah.
And then Divock
it was his
Origi
highlight,
came,
actually.
and then after that, Divock Origi came and scored the 4th against Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like Docena, like I really like how his career Liverpool highlighted in 1 week, and he's now a forever legend, I would say.
Yeah.
Because of that week.
You can never forget his name.
Yeah, you can never take away that from him. So never ever. And he can tell his grandkids about his glory days with Liverpool shirts, and it's really,
Glory week.
glory week, you know. But yeah, that's why Liverpool, you know, because we don't forget those special moments. So basically, another club, like a huge club, I don't want to say in Spain because some Real Madrid fans will be will be a little bit sad about it or a little bit salty. But we see how many of them they deliver, but at the same time they go from like in Arabic we say from the closed little door in the backyard. So, and it's not something that we do in our team. So basically, even if you have, I don't know, you scored in a charity game, people will remember you, and especially Scouts people, because this is the nature and this is the DNA of Liverpool fans. Last one, since you are having, I don't know, thousands of shirts behind you, I want to ask if you have to choose between, I have a feeling that I should not be asking about Adidas because it will be your preferred one as any Liverpool fan. But if you have to choose between Nike and New Balance, which ones do you choose?
Oh, like over like our shirts,
Ours. And which one is your overall preferred one?
Yeah, but out of the two.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
First question between the two, which one do you choose? And then overall, which jersey is your preferred?
Yeah. Okay, so out of the two, I think the Nike kits are underrated, but I think people hate on them more than they deserve to. But I do think the New Balance kits overall edge it because it was such a special time. Like you had to be, we're all of the age where we lived through it. And again, coming off the heartbreaks, the generation where we were no one, like we kind of fell away. And then, like Benitez brings us back. We suffered through Hodgson and all. New Balance is when it all, like we won the Champions League and the league wearing New Balance, and the designs were amazing. Like that Salah, the V-neck, the white one from his first season is my like epitome of that era. So yeah, out of the two, I would have to slightly just go with New Balance, but I do think that the Nike kits are better than people give them credit for. Like I don't know why, for some reason, every year other than this year with Adidas, everyone just suddenly becomes really negative and they're like, oh, I don't like this and I wish I could change this. And, like I think that some of the Nike kits, like the two that you're both wearing, for example, at the moment, like the white collar one, that's like classic Liverpool, like 60s. There's a Michael Owen version of that from 98 to 2000. And then the one that Youssef's wearing is like, we won the league in it, number one. And secondly, it's like Liverpool, it's pinstripe. Even that collar, people don't realize like that's like 94, 95, like Nike heritage. Like you cannot like the collar, but like they were doing something there. Do you know what I mean? Like let them cook. Like they're designers, like they know what they're doing. So yeah, but out of the two, New Balance for sure.
And which one is your preferred overall Liverpool kit? If you have to choose, I don't know, from the 60 to now, which one? Like
Okay.
you have to choose
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one, not two or three, but only one. You can show us even though.
This kit is my favorite.
Oh,
That's my favorite.
94,
Oh.
95,
95, 96.
95, 96.
95, 96. Yeah. That's my favorite kit.
With Carragher?
like-
no,
No,
Carragher.
I
Oh.
have Collymore.
Collymore.
But it's Fowler's shirt. Let's call us Vader. My brother actually has Fowler. I have Collymore. It's Fowler's shirt, but it's like that collar is like stunning to me. I love like like we very rarely, if ever, had like Adidas as the word mark rather than the logo and stuff. Obviously, like I know this is Arabic and I don't drink too, but like vintage sponsor, like it's I don't know, that I would say that that's my favorite overall Liverpool shirt, but there's so many other classics, right?
Yeah, true.
Once you see that
Totally.
shirt, you directly remember the famous game against Newcastle. 4-3.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
that's
in
part of it. Yeah, 4-3.
94 or 95.
Yeah.
94.
That one's 96. That 4-3 is. It's 95, 96. April 95, 96.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
they are older, Youssef. So basically, they are talking. If you listen to Soufiyan other than LFC TV, you will think that he is born in the 80s or 70s, but he's like Gen Z person, I think.
No,
So, yeah,
No, not that.
I was born in 97.
Not that young.
No.
but
I'm pretty old.
personally,
So
I don't remember that game, but like that's what I was talking about earlier. So basically, every moment is cherished and remembered in with Liverpool. So basically, even if you didn't attend that game or if you didn't even you were born in that area, but at the same time you can read books and see documentaries and listen to people in the pubs telling you about the stories. Like I want to be a grandpa just to tell my grandkids about Jurgen's area, to be honest, because I hear people talking about Shankly's and how changed everything with the Paisley also. I was like, yeah, I was there and I witnessed Klopp changing everything from scratch, and that's unbelievable. I think that we are way, way beyond our 1 hour.
I have one very
time
last
limit.
question. Since I have a
Always
very
with Soufiyan.
no.
Always with Soufiyan,
Since
we
I
are-
have a
we are
very
going
okay.
over.
a very small collection, just want to hear the number. How many jerseys do you have in your collection? So to set it as a goal for me.
Yeah, fair enough. The last time I counted, I was at about 650.
Oh, it's
Wow,
very impressive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
man,
That's the last time I counted. I should
that's
count
really
again.
impressive.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
I
And
think you're a Guinness contender soon, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe. I hear that there's people with like thousands. I've never met them, but I see them online. So
Wow.
maybe. But you know what? Like I just think it's such a wholesome passion as well. So I love seeing anyone's collection that's personal to them, whether it's really small or really big or somewhere in the middle. Like I love to hear like the stories behind them and as to why why people like this shirt or that shirt and stuff. So yeah, I don't. As someone who's got like many jerseys, like it's definitely for me, it's not about the number. It's definitely more about like what made you collect, like what connects you to your football club, or like I started collecting because of my dad or my uncle. Like I love those stories. And what's really cool is that it's not going to stop. Like just the other day, Adidas just dropped their World Cup 22 range, and like then there'll be 28, then there'll be 30. Every year we'll be like watching when Liverpool are dropping their shirts. We just signed Adidas for 10 years, I think. Was
Yeah.
it 5
Yeah.
or 10? 10 years. Yeah.
It's
So
10.
like it's very addictive, and yeah, I love how culturally relevant it is. Like the American hip hop group Outkast, one of their
yeah,
rappers, Andre 3000, just had a Juve shirt on this weekend, and it's just like so random. 2004 Juve shirt. Like Justin Bieber's playing football in like training shirts from like the 90s now. It's so random how popular they are.
yeah.
Definitely.
That's perfect. And when I see you, I wanna just I will I have a gift for you, a red jersey from a Moroccan team, the best actually. And
Yeah.
yeah, just to add it to your collection. So next time I'm seeing you, yeah, you will have another Moroccan jersey, not the national team, but another Moroccan team. They wear red also, so basically, yeah, you won't be a difference
No, they actually
with
played
other
against
the other.
Liverpool in the 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, yeah, in the 80s, I think. Oh, yeah.
84.
And we
Uh,
and they played Manchester City, and actually we lost by less goals than today.
yeah. Oh no, it's Wydad Casablanca. We played in the World Cup, in the in the summer World Cup club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
and we
US.
were
Yeah,
in the same group, I think, with
Manchester
Man
City
City
and
and
Juve.
Juve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's time to close this episode because we won't stop. Like it's really interesting, and I really enjoy talking about football. I won't stop if someone like close my mouth with the tape, whatever. Yeah. So thank you again, Aizaz, for joining us. It was a
thank
real
you.
pleasure.
Thank
And
you,
Yeah,
Aizaz.
anytime, lads. I'd love to come back on. So obviously, I know you've got, you'll be doing all of your other episodes. But if you want to have me back on in a couple of weeks or months, let me know. I'd love to come back on. I really enjoyed it.
perfect. Thank
Pleasure.
you so much, Aizaz.
Thank you.
And again, just for people who are watching us, Aizaz is from OLSC Toronto,
Yeah.
and we were very honored to host him today and to have him as our special guest to our episode. Hopefully, after the international break, we will be back to you with good results and better analyses because we will be hopefully winning more games and getting the 3 needed points. Until then, hopefully you will be good and see you later. Up the Reds.
Of the
Up the
Reds.
Reds.
Guys.
Take care.